Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina. I am excited to have with us in the next several minutes, I have got Christa Moody. She is a wonderful volunteer in the city of Lancaster, around the community. So many things that she does, and I'm so excited to get to just talk about that, what she does, and highlight her a bit. And then also the Fairfield Area Humane Society Executive Director, Corey Schoonover. So don't go anywhere. Hang out with us. I'll be right back. It's Down Home with Tina.
What makes Fairhope what it is our staff. It's always a question that we ask, why do you want to be here with us? And what they most always say is, you've touched my life this way. You know, you took care of this person, or I've seen what you've done and I want to do that. And so the staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fairhope what it is.
It's the 2025 Lancaster Festival featuring Gary LaVox of Rascal Flatts, Grammy-winning artist Colby Calais, and folk rock band Dawes, and the festival orchestra marks a new era with maestro John Devlin. Tickets on sale now at lancasterfestival.org.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I have, oh my goodness, she's like community member of like every year, all the years of the city of Lancaster. I'm Christa Moody. Any of you who, if you are out and about or you involved in pretty much anything in Lancaster, you've probably heard the name, or if you are a competitor in the baking part of the fair, the Fairfield County Fair, you're going to know who Christa Moody is as well, because you're going to be like, dag nabbit, she won again. She beat me again. No. No. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderfully, wonderfully.
You always have a smile on your face, and you retired. I know we were talking about it before we got started 3 years ago. Already been 3 years. Is it really retirement for you, my friend? Because you have, I've list, because I know that you're so involved. You were involved before you retired. Did you add on to the list of things that you were involved in after you retired,
Absolutely.
or did you just keep it the same? Or yes,
Yes,
of course.
absolutely.
You're like, of course, Tina.
Yeah. Retirement has given me a great opportunity to give back more. I don't want to just sit in my comfy chair and watch Andy Griffith every day. I want to be active. I love this community so much, and I do what I do because it's my way of giving back, saying thank you. This is such a wonderful place to live. We are so blessed for our wonderful community. If ever there's something going on, I love watching our community band together. Let's work together and make this okay again. And we do it. I see it all the time.
Christa, have you always been this way? Have you always wanted to just give back and do for others?
No. As most folks know, I've gone through cancer. Cancer was an eye-opener. Every day is a precious gift, and I want to make the most of every single day, every single moment I have.
Some people will, I'm not nearly as busy as you are, but when I meet somebody new and they think I'm busy, I should say, oh, wait till you meet Christa Moody. No, I'm just kidding. But I say, at the end of my life, I want the man upstairs to look at me and say, my child, you have used up every ounce of every bit of talent and energy that I gave you.
Yes.
And some days I do go, whew, this is whew. But that's truly what I want, and it seems like you're on that same path of just to use up every bit of every talent that you have.
I want
to give.
I hope that on my gravestone it can say, "Well done, good and faithful servant."
Yes,
that's my goal. That's my goal,
isn't it? And it is awesome that we have our health to be able to do it. And I say, my mom used to, and she'll still say it sometimes, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Yep. And I'm talking about your brain and your everything. Your energy, moving, walking, exercising, socializing, and doing. So let's talk a little bit about the different things that are going on.
Sure.
I know there's a lot in so many of these, but I also know that we had mentioned about, because we were me highlighting you and talking about all of the things that you have done. You did receive an award in 2022, the Floyd Wolf Award from the Lancaster Chamber.
Yes.
You want to share a little bit more about that again? And revisit that?
I can never thank the Chamber, the community enough for that award. To me, that is the highest award our community offers. And to be given that means the world to me. And so that makes me feel, okay, I've got to work even harder now because I have to earn what I've been given. And so I work hard
to stay at that.
To say thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
2024, the Gordon B. Snyder Community Legacy Award.
Yes, what an honor.
Deserved.
What an honor. Dr. Snyder gave back unbelievably to our community. He was a leader in Fairhope becoming what it is. I feel so blessed that I knew Dr. Snyder. And the night I received that award, he was there, and I was able to thank him for all that he has done for our community.
Nice.
We lost a true hero when he passed. But I am so much better the person for having known him just a little bit.
That's awesome. What does volunteering, do you think, does not only for you but for other people when you give back?
Volunteering is, I think that's what we're here, and I think that's what we're supposed to do. We give back. You know, I try really hard every day to make one person smile. If I'm standing in the grocery line, I make a special point to talk to the person ahead of me or behind me, just to make somebody smile. Volunteering is, I've met so many wonderful, wonderful people, and made a lot of good contacts. Made new friends. You know, we never can have enough wonderful friends.
Right.
So
I agree. I think that June 15th is the Power of Smiling Day, and I'm like, I told my kids at the detention center, I go, I'm gonna walk around and just smile. And so I'm going to take a picture of myself and send it to everybody I know, because it says, what can you do on the Power of Smiling Day? You know, again, every day I think we should. They just are like, I'm not smiling, and they're kind of smiling at me because I'm so ridiculous. They're like, and I'm going to smile really big like this. But the power of a smile can be, it's powerful.
Strong.
It's strong, yeah.
Yes.
So anyways, we'll move on to talk about some of the different boards that you're on.
Sure.
You're the incoming Lancaster Sherman Rotary
Yes.
co-president.
I am. I was president in year 2020, 2021, height of COVID. That gave me a lot of challenges. My Rotarians were out once a month doing community projects. While we were doing those projects, not one of my Rotarians got COVID. I'm so proud of that. My presidential project for that year was the murals in Center Alley. I can't even begin to describe how proud I am of that, and how grateful to Jason and David Annecy for agreeing to do that project. That's a true highlight of our downtown area.
Absolutely is.
And I think all of our community's proud of that.
Absolutely. Friends of the Parks Board.
Friends of the Park. Oh, our park systems are so wonderful. Again, during COVID, that was a great place that a lot of our community members could go to and feel safe from the disease and enjoy the beauty of our parks.
Pro Arte Ohio Board. I know we definitely want to talk about this.
Yes. Pro Arte is my newest board. They did not ask me to be on this board because of my musical ability, because I don't have any.
We just, none of us here, I think, in the studio are going to be breaking out in song anytime. You get a happy birthday, but it's super fast. And that's about it. I'm with you.
But they asked me to help raise awareness here in Lancaster. They do two concerts each year, one in the spring, which we did in May, and then there's one this Sunday after the Christmas parade in November. So I'm hoping that a lot of our community will come out. The music is so beautiful. You know, we can't get enough of our arts here in our community.
Right.
So
Yep.
I'm hoping that they will have a showing in the Christmas parade this year.
Oh, yeah, I
Hand
hope
out
so, too.
flyers and just get the word out about the beautiful music that they have.
There's so many of these. I'm just, I love it. Volunteer for the Heritage Association Homes Tour.
I
You're part of
am.
that.
I am. This year, the Homes Tours tour in Rushville, my old
nice.
stomping grounds. I'm a Fairfield Union graduate, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great show this year. So if you haven't bought your tickets, you still can now, and hopefully I'll see everyone there.
Art Walk Volunteer.
Art Walk Volunteer.
Yes,
my
right around the
husband
corner.
and I have the most wonderful position. We stage the trailers for the celebrities. Deb gives us lists of items that they would like. So we have those and zhuzh up their trailers for them. And,
Oh, nice.
you know, we don't get to meet them.
Yeah.
We're in and out before they arrive. But it is such a wonderful job. So grateful to Deb for allowing us to do that.
I think that just sounds like a fun thing to do. So Twig 1 member.
Twig 1 member. I was president of Twig 1 for 3 years, and I've stepped back from the presidential role of that. We have one fundraiser a year. It's our
Okay.
Cancer Care Run Walk. We do that the Saturday of Fair Week.
Okay.
So if there's any runners out there, you know, please watch for information coming up. We would love to have you run. It's a 5K.
Okay. Yeah.
Great event.
Then oh goodness gracious, let's see. I know there's more here. What have we not gotten to? Fairfield Medical Center. You're involved with Fairfield Medical Center
Fairfield
Foundation.
Medical. I am so proud to be part of Fairfield Medical Center's Foundation Board. You know, we're the fundraising arm for that. In the past, we've done a lot of events, the Heart Lung Run. There's so many different events that we've done. Now this year, we have backed off a little bit from the events. There, as the community knows, there's a new partnership coming between Fairfield Medical Center and Ohio Health. So there'll be a lot of new and wonderful things coming. This is an exciting time for our community.
You volunteer parks for the pumpkin hike, the Christmas walk, and the pancake breakfast.
Absolutely, absolutely. Those are such wonderful events, and they're free events. Well, the pancakes isn't.
Yeah, but the
But
others,
the
yes.
pumpkin hike, the Christmas walk, those are free events. I'd love to see our community come out and enjoy those.
What else did it? You have something. How many boards are you part of? Nonprofits are you part of? Do you know the number of how many that you are?
It's 8 or 9.
8 or 9. And then do they have meetings every month? Most of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have events
Yeah.
almost every month. An event.
Well, not every month, but
Almost
quite
every
often.
month. Yeah, and you have another one that you told me about. I don't know if it's on here or not. In
It is
the
not.
list.
It is
I didn't
not.
think so.
It
But
is
we
not.
wanted to mention it.
I
for
would
a
like
good
to
reason.
mention it.
Yes.
This is so exciting. You know, for so many years, our community at Christmas time has enjoyed the candlelight tour. The candlelight tour did not happen last year. The Heritage Association was a sponsor of that for many, many years, and just felt like it's time to step back from that a little bit. My being out in the community the way I am, I've heard a lot of feedback about it, and folks want that. They really missed that last year. So another community member, Alan Browning, and I started talking about it. And it's like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So he and I are going to bring back, it will not be exactly the same, but it's going to be called a downtown Christmas stroll.
Okay.
Downtown, because it's in our historic downtown. Always want to celebrate our downtown area. Christmas, we always want to keep Christ in Christmas. Very important, very
That's
important, especially these days.
Yes. Yes.
And a stroll. We are giving people the opportunity to stroll through our downtown. Well, I'll have a lot more information about this as time goes on, but I just wanted to put the word out. Yes, it will be back this year.
And we planned on having you back, excuse me, in August, I think. August, September is, I think, no, October. Maybe we said October.
Yeah.
Then we'll have you back on to talk a little bit
Yeah.
about that, because we're
Yeah.
going to have you on August for the baking.
Yeah.
And then the fair comes
Yeah,
along.
let me get through the fair.
Do you stop yeah, we got to get through the fair first. That's October, so that's about one. So the fair you're very involved with.
I am.
Is it several things or just this one thing? Because I wouldn't understand, but wait a minute, everybody, I would understand if it's one thing, but it's Christa Moody, and I know how you are just a busybody. And is it more than just that at the fair?
It's usually, I usually enter 25 to 30 items.
And all you do is that with the fair? Do you volunteer in other places at the fairgrounds?
I like to dabble in flower arranging, so I arrange flowers. Depression glass, I love depression glass, especially pink Miss America glassware. I do some flower arranging. I enter those. Some of my antique items, I'll enter those. And
Christa, how do you find the energy? Do you ever find yourself being around? Do you eat super healthy? Do you take vitamins? Do you have some kind of power drink that I need to have some of?
No.
It's a passion, isn't it?
It is. Everything that I involve myself with, I'm very passionate about.
Do you ever have to say no that you or say to, because I've been told that if you have so much on your plate and if you say yes to something that you may not be able to give your all to, it won't benefit that person. So is it sometimes okay to say no, and do you have to?
I do have to. When I announced my retirement, I started having people coming to me. Hey, would you be interested? Would you be interested? And
was it like, oh, she's free now because you're already involved so much that you just? I could see that.
I do have to say no sometimes. I don't want to get burned out, and my husband and I, this is our time. I want to spend time with him. That's very important to me. I treasure the time that we have together.
And does he is involved with all of these projects as well, or not so much? Is he passionate?
He will be as involved as if I ask him to do something. Yes, one of my committees, and it's an offshoot of the DDL board, is placemaking. The placemaking committee, Melody Bobbitt and I head up, and we just planted the 40 planters in the downtown area with the flowers.
Wow, nice.
Melody writes up a schedule. We have volunteers that come in and help us water the flowers. Then at the end of the season, we pull those and put pine in.
And he helps
the fall
with that.
Plantings, winter plantings.
Gotcha.
So that's something I dearly love doing that.
Nice.
It just beautifies our downtown area.
It does, and we do have a beautiful downtown area. Christa, thank you so much for coming on and speaking with me. I hope that anybody that you are watching, that she has inspired you to want to participate and be a volunteer as well in any of those nonprofits, organizations that she had mentioned, as well as maybe be a part of one of them or something. And for the knowledge of knowing some of the different things that we didn't know about what's coming up. So folks, don't go anywhere. I do have a nonprofit coming on here in just a minute. He's a regular. You don't want to miss. It's Downtown with Tina.
For the last 30 years, I've worked in Fairfield County. The beauty of working in this county is it's small enough that you get to know people on an individual level, that you get to do the kind of work you want to do personally, but it's large enough that we have some resources and we have some ability to bring coalitions together to make some bigger changes.
You have the benefits of a suburban community, and Columbus isn't too far away if you want to get that urban experience. Plus, if I ever feel like I need to get away for a little bit, there's tons of great hiking around here.
Well, Fairfield County is just a really different county, so it's very resource rich. There are so many people in similar and overlapping helping fields. They make excellent community partners.
We all know each other and we don't compete with each other. Like agency-wide, we're all here to serve our clients, and you know someone everywhere, you know what I mean? And so that, I just feel like that helps it to get our clients the best care. So that's a big thing for me.
Community, connections, collaboration. The Fairfield County Way.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I have Corey Schoonover, the Executive Director of the Fairfield Area Humane Society. If I would ever forget what he is the Executive Director of, then I probably need to not do TV anymore. I have been interviewing you in 2010. No, goodness, it's so funny because I tell people, you know, when they ask me what I do, and then I'll talk about, I don't know, you, or they'll ask, who do I interview? I'll be like, oh, folks like, you know, the Humane Society, and they're like, well, you know, what's it like interviewing? Da-da-da. And I go, well, some of the folks I've interviewed for so many, or nonprofits in this case, and so for so many years that I could answer their questions for them, only unless it is something that is new, up and coming. However, and with that being said, I'm going to roll right into segue into, since 2010, you have had so many things. So I never know when you might have something going on, Corey, that is good and positive for the animals that are brought to the shelter.
I like to think that we always have something good, right?
You're always forward thinking.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I'm stuck in my blanket.
Sometimes that gets me in trouble, but
Yeah.
historically, I feel like it's worked out. And to hear the positive impact that we've made in the community when we're doing those things, I mean, that kind of keeps me going. Like, what's the next thing? You know what I mean?
How do you get your ideas? Do you just think of them and come up with them? Or do you have other people that you know that are involved in humane societies or things like that? Or you just think of what might make sense? That's for me. And then I'm just like, well, that makes sense. Let's do this. It might not make sense to everybody.
I try and tie everything together, like what's the next progression? And a lot of it has always occurred from what are we missing? Mm-hmm. You know, what's the need in the community, and then how can we address that? So whether it's just more space or additional services, or even so I'm kind of one of those, here's this grand idea, and someone asks me the details of it, and I'm like, we'll figure that out as we jump in the deep end, and then you kind of refine it as you go.
Yes, like making it all kind of make sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
So like 2025 is, you know, we had this newer building, we're finishing it, we're adding on to it already.
Oh.
But it's
Where's this building? I'm there enough, I should pay attention to it.
It's the one up in where the small dog park was.
Okay,
right?
that's what,
so we moved
okay.
grooming up there. We have a new surgery suite for our cat TNR program up there.
Oh.
And then now we're going to add office space down the side.
Does that mean you're adding more groomers to the grooming, or just putting a spot up there? 'Cause I need to.
We've added a second one.
Yes.
And there's room to add a third one when we need to do that.
When you need to do that, let me know. Not for me to be a groomer now. I gotta leave that to others.
Right.
But yeah.
So we do have, there for a long time we weren't even able to accept new grooming clients, but we are accepting them at this point. So, but efficiency, being efficient with our programs and things like that was kind of the key for 2025. And I'm talking about it, like the vet clinic, being efficient with our appointments, being efficient with our scheduling, and just, you know, if you can't, how are we maintaining our, you know,
Okay, and
affordability, if you
that's
will?
what I was just going
Yeah.
to ask. It's been 15 years, folks. We kind of like, and it's sometimes an accident, but
Right.
that's what I was going to ask
Yeah.
you is the funding piece of it. Where do you get all of your funding for all of your new buildings and projects and things like that?
True.
And that's made it so successful throughout the years, Corey.
So right off the bat, it was how do we stay afloat, right? And are we always going to be able to count on donations from the community? And the answer to that is no. It's as we've grown, you see that when you see a big project like a new building addition or something, that's been from an estate, someone leaving us a bigger chunk of money, or things like that. But then on the how do we, you know, like a dog adoption. A dog adoption is $200. When we do all the medical and things on a lot of the animals, we spend way more than that. So how do you make up the difference? And that's where those other services came into play over the years. Grooming, boarding, the vet clinic, we use those profitable options or parts of the business to help fund the shelter side of things.
Yeah.
So I think, and then when you talk about the efficiency, everybody wants to save money. It's like, and how do you stretch your dollar? So like that's what we're focusing on this year, and you'll see different things. And right now I'm like, we're going through just a refresh and make it a little more, things have changed in the shelter world over the last couple years, and it's so we have to be creative with it. And I will tell you, the support we get for the different programs that we offer and the community uses them, that is how you see us continue to not just stay afloat, but thrive and still able to expand, because we're just, I feel like we're doing things the right way.
Yes.
And the support from the community helps. And, you know, then we do these events to get us out in the community. And I think as long as we're all on the same page and the support that's needed and the services we offer, we're going to be successful.
Absolutely, and as you are and have been for many years. And folks, if you got any questions about adopting a cat, a dog, and sometimes you never know, it might be a bunny rabbit or something else, there's your fairhumane.org website, Facebook, all those things. Donations, you want to donate, please don't hesitate to contact Corey. You don't know where you want to leave your money from your estate or whatnot, that is a wonderful place. Check them out, y'all. I am an avid supporter, I always have been, for the Fairfield Area Humane Society. So Corey, thank you so much. He will be back again next time. We're going to see about getting one of those little puppies or something with us. Thank you so much, Corey.
You're welcome.
Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. It's Down Home with Tina.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Down Home with Tina is brought to you by these amazing sponsors. Before I get out of here, I just wanted to share with you, I may have before, but I always like to every now and again share again. I went to a training once, and they said I needed a smiles file. So this is my smiles file. Obviously, I take it with me everywhere, and I have gone and had to get to it from time to time. So get yourselves an envelope. I need a new one, and put some positive messages and things in there, folks, and you'll have your very own smiles file. Hey, happy 4th of July. I hope you have a great one. I'll be back in a week or two. God bless. A good day. It's Down Home with Tina.